From my collection of straw man arguments and other logical fallacies relating to Bigfoot. No way a cowboy in the 1960s would have made a female suit with female breasts. I read comments like this occasionally. It's a straw man because it projects upon others a certain class of behavior based on what the questioner imagines. The presumption is clear here that social restraints of the 1960s were strong enough that a cowboy, the archetype of independent masculinity at the time, would feel so much shame and embarrassment at wearing a feminized costume, he just wouldn't do it. I was never a cowboy, but I have worked with all-men road crews and on the maintenance crew for a large power company in rural Vermont, and doing a lot of very low-level farm work. I think what this fellow either ignores or doesn't know about working men is that they can have a prankster sense of humor, and they have all the time in the world to concoct harebrained schemes. I'll bet if they paid somebody to wear a female Bigfoot costume, or in this case, promise to pay him, you could find a large man to do it in 1967. It would have been especially motivating to be assured that nobody would ever find out it was you, unless you told. This scenario resembles Bob Hieronymus's story. I don't know if it was him, but certainly here's a guy from the period who publicly admits that not only would he wear such a costume, but that he actually did. So a cowboy wouldn't argument is hereby a weak objection to criticism. Here's another one that pops up occasionally. If it's so easy to make a Bigfoot costume, how come nobody's done it? Answer? There are two answers to that. At least it's a two-part answer to that, and one is that people have done it, and two, nobody ever said it was easy. One or two ambitious cowboys who want to make their mark in history by being the first people to film a Bigfoot, with a year to make it happen, could and would do it. And either all the Bigfoot film and video and camera footage we have seen over the last 58 years is of real, actual Bigfoots, or a lot of them are humans in costumes. So, they've done it. I think humans in costumes is the more reasonable explanation, and in recent years, some of those costumes have been really good. Almost convincing, I would say, if it were not for extemporaneous anomalies, which I can get into at another time. Okay, referring to the bear in photo number 3 of the 2007 Jacobs, Pennsylvania trail cam photo at night, comments go something like, "It's not a bear because there's no eye shine." And there may be a reference to photo number 1, which showed 2 bear cubs, only one of which actually showed eye shine and the other didn't, by the way. So the presumption is that since the bear in photo number 3 doesn't show eye shine, where it's more or less facing the camera, therefore it must not be a bear, and by extension it can only be a juvenile Sasquatch, because, if you can't identify it, it must be a juvenile Sasquatch. Well, the problem with that is some bear photos taken at night show eye shine, some don't. The fact that a bear doesn't show eye shine in a trail cam night photo doesn't mean it's a juvenile Sasquatch. It's still a bear that doesn't show night shine.